Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial, featuring today a 1 vs 1 on Langres. This is going to be a bit of a long match, so I will be trying to speed up here and there to sort of keep it within a reasonable length. But we are looking at about an hour. We shall be seeing in the northern part Magpiesflight. Magpiesflight being a rather infamous veteran company of heroes player who rather came up with a lot of strats in his day. So definitely we're going to be seeing some very high level play. Opposing him shall be Imgonnagetyou. Looks like, I think, a Smurf account, though, fighting for the Americans and fighting for the 1st Armored Division. Opposing him, of course, Magpiesflight of the Panzerlehr. And note, I have some slightly new infantry skins here for my Axis, both Wehrmacht and Panzer Elite. Hopefully we'll be able to show off the Panzer Elite soon. Not entirely sure if I like them quite yet, but they certainly look interesting, certainly look a bit different. These are by Slayer Connect, so that should be interesting. It also had a bunch of icons and such, but I'd rather remove that because I thought it looked silly. Again, that's sort of my own personal opinions, of course. But anyways, if you are looking for it, just look up on Relic News, their mod section under the ammo box, as it's called, Slayer Connect skin packs. Although, mind you, I had for some reason been overlooking it for years. Oh well. But there we go, the first full-screen squad out. Slightly more toned down, more grey-brown, but still looks interesting. Marching out nonetheless for the fatherland. Rifleman marching up here. Advancing up on the east, points being secured. A bit of an eastern focus right here as well. Magpies is in fact ignoring all this. Again, sort of the road rather dictates for some, you know, where they will fight. Again, they sort of functions as a natural front line. But there we go, folks, going to have taken up position right here at the heavy cover, the green cover. And already going in for the cutoff point now. Those, of course, also denying the Americans the usage of this fuel point. But we are seeing Imgonnagetyou pushing in hard again at the same time. He's not rushing for this fuel point either. He might have been hoping to get this point as well. Interesting. Pioneers are moving up, and of course, right here, this is a good combination. Some, of course, might be wondering why. Because the Pioneers just here can, in fact, ensure that otherwise, the Riflemen could charge in and would win. The Pioneers would actually allow this force to win. So there we go. Small force moving in here against the Engineers, quickly forcing them away. And we are seeing the MG42 arriving. A bit of foliage, in fact, on the helmets for some. Although won't do you much in a building, unless it's a greenhouse. I don't really think Francois had a greenhouse right here. Anyways, it probably wouldn't have lasted long. But we are seeing the Volkskriegs advancing up. MG42 taking up position there in a slightly more dominant position. Also, it's sort of a little tip, you know, you can usually place down a bit of barbed wire to make it a bit harder to run up to it with flamethrowers, grenades, or any sort of that nonsense. Mines also help. We are seeing Imgonnagetyou trying to flank about. This is good. In fact, he's trying to threaten the cutoff point, but we are seeing a second MG42 right away. So Magpiesflight is starting out with a slightly more defensive approach, trying to cover his flanks right away. And there we go, Riflemen are pushed away, simply too much firepower, but again, note he's quick to do so, suffering minimal losses. This is good. Although, of course, right here, the MG42 up there is stopping his other prong right there. In the meanwhile, Engineers are continuing up the western half. 3rd Rifleman squad on the field.
We're losing ground out there.
MG42 advances up. So far, there has been plenty of fights, but not really a lot of casualties from either side. Both so far are gauging each other, sort of trying to figure out where are they strongest, where are they weakest, what can I get away with. And definitely, I mean, Magpiesflight is also taking a bit more defensively. Again, he sort of wants to sort of secure the territory first and ensure he doesn't, you know, extend himself too far and then sort of get, you know, overwhelmed or too quickly flanked. And those are, of course, important things to remember. Now the Volkskriegs squad moves out for the fatherland. Bit of engagement over here, Riflemen hiding left and right, and we are going to be seeing a 4th one on the way. Flamethrowers being equipped. Could of course be the reason why I went for all the munitions points first. And in fact, he could soon be getting a 2nd flamethrower if he wants to. Setting up for a rather large flank right here on the eastern flank, although looks like Magpiesflight is perhaps suspecting something. Additional Volkskriegs and Pioneers are being sent over, although the western flank is only left to an MG42. Then again, one here. But again, if then he proceeds to strike up here, there's going to be problems. So there we go. Volkskriegs, Pioneers moving in. Riflemen a bit caught off on their own. Too much German infantry, too many krauts for them to handle. There we go. One Volkskriegs down though. Light cover for both sides, and since this is at longer ranges, the Volkskriegs will have the advantage. should be noted. But there we go, flanking up here. They are going to be stopped there by the MG42, but of course there's going to be another rifle squad hitting up here. Flamethrowers moving in. Ooh, getting suppressed, but there we go. Rifle now moving in. Are they? No. No, I'm going to get just rifle. In fact, slowing down. Not entirely sure why. Instead of, rushing up to the MG42 and just sorting it out. Pioneers are moving in to assist with their submachine guns. Rifle now being slightly shot at. Assault part here also failing, but we are seeing more troops rushing up. No. Looks like Magpiesflight has been able to survive the assault. Heavy losses to Imgonnagetyou though. Not quite as vicious to Magpiesflight, and we are seeing a bunker up. Probably going to be a medic bunker placement. Not necessarily the best one. Perhaps here could have been nice, but there you go. Still, it's not too far up the front line, and of course he's not expecting to be fighting up here, perhaps, more here. So again, in that sense, it's a nice placement of the medic bunker. Volkswagen moving westwards. Pioneers moving back up. The MG42 could do with some reinforcement. Although again, he might have gone defensive doctrine, of course, in which case he can reinforce from bunkers. In fact, it rather looks like he's planning so if he hasn't already done so, since he's rather parking them all right next to the bunker. Going in for a bit of harassment there. Good job. Americans lining up again. No upgrades. We are seeing a Trier center up though, so again he did bleed out quite a bit there.
Crowds have cut forward supply lines.
And there we go. Medic bunker up. Note, new skins for the medics. So in fact, there are now 2 different medics right there. Volkswagens here, though, suffering a bit, caught out in the open and quickly rushed off by the riflemen. While another push gets ready again, another large assault. Doesn't look like he can reinforce from bunkers right yet, though. But he is waiting to do so. And there we go, we act in fact seeing the MG42 retreating just as Imgonnagetyou launches an assault. Not unexpected, and of course with defensive doctrine there comes an ability that actually increases the line of sight of all your points. So that was probably what could have tipped him off. We are seeing veterancy for the support units up first, which of course means the MG42 will be doing more damage. Plus of course the building also increases line of sight, so again there are plenty of things there to actually sort of give Magpies sort of an idea what's going on. Again, reconnaissance matters, knowing what your opponent is doing matters. And again, that's also why some players actually like going for defensive if they do, because again, they can then actually, and there we go, troops are reinforcing now, but they can help get them a bit of idea of what's going on. It's going to make them much harder to flank, simply because again there's going to be so much more to help them keep their flanks clear. And we are seeing quite the force moving here. Lots of Volkswagens, lots of Pioneers, quite a force. No flamethrowers though, kein Flammenwerfer, but we are seeing from the Americans, Pioneer lights on fire. Volkswagens rush in, taking up position in the building right next. This is good. Germans burning, the crowds are on fire. Rifle on the flamethrower engineers on the flank. No upgrades for the rifleman. This could be a nice spot for some BAR action, but no, he's actually separating the rest of the force and going to hit here towards the medic bunker. MG42 for the fatherland going up at the same time, rather spoiling this little spoiling attack. And going in for the cutoff point right here, but again stopping by another MG42. Magpiesflight is keeping his MG42s very close together. Imgonnagetyou not quite having any success. He perhaps should have gone grenades to weapon support center with mortars instead. I don't think he's going to have quite any luck, with the sneak up and try to shoot some Germans before they realize what's going on. Approach. And also veterans run for the German infantry. Deutsches Infanterie, das Beste in der Welt. Or something like that. Points being secured by the Pioneers. Volksgunners again moving up on the west. Again, nice usage of his Volksgrenadiere.
The Huns are taking our territory.
Again, also note for the larger part, he's actually again working them together, at least 2 together. Again, that's rather where they sort of have the sweet spot, where they function the best. They're not really a sort of unit that fights well on its own. They really need to, with something else, to really get the most out of them. But again, it can be anything. Pioneers, Volksgunners, other Volksgunners that are preferable. Schwimmwagen, bike, MG42, sniper, anything. Observation post right here, interesting. He's clearly planning something with armor then. Or perhaps just anything with, lots of fuel involved. But armor would be a good guess. Could, in fact, if he can rush this, rather give him a slight advantage. In particular, of course, Magpiesflight has been investing in upgrades for veterancy, so of course that could set him back a bit. Volksgunners now getting assaulted. MG42 going for the point, but actually also at the same time setting up quickly. And again, veterancy 1 increases accuracy. decreases reload times, making this a much more vicious weapon of war. Also, there's few more details are actually coming out of Gamescom. Apparently, there will be commander units. You know, officers essentially. Apparently, the Soviet commander was used as an example. He can call it artillery strikes, Katyusha strikes, and air strikes. So, I mean, that's actually quite interesting. I imagine the German commander will be functioning in a slightly different manner, but still, interesting stuff. And who knows, perhaps you'll beg to be able to customize them. But there we go. Hope that interests you. I'll of course be reporting again. Follow me on Twitter. I will of course, you know, be spreading out further details as they come out. Right from the air, suffering a bit though. Volksgrenadier suffering a bit though. Careful, Magpies. And there we go. Finally getting off a good flank with the flamethrower. MG42 crew on the run. Burn those crowds. Come on, Hank. Do it. Oh, Hank, you had such a good chance and you botched it. Just think of the kids back home. How are you going to look them in their face if you do get home? Not in a pine box, that is. But again, lining up next to the bunker. Points being secured. And there we go. Tank depot up within about 12 minutes. That's a pretty serious armor rush. Again, Imgonnagetyou is definitely very serious about him getting Magpiesflight. Also, I mean, with all this infantry, again, a medic station would be a nice choice, would minimize his losses, would get him out of more troops in the longer run. Again, nice push, and again, coordination. Also, of course, note, Veterans 1 does give them a slight edge. I mean, they will heal, and of course, even during battle, they will heal, so I mean, constantly. They are a bit tougher to kill. I mean, not a lot. I mean, it's not going to make them German supermen, but it is going to provide a bit. And there we go, Pack also moving up. Volksgrenadiers, MG42, everything good. Bravo advancing, and a mine! Good job by Magpies, and let's in fact go have a look at him. Who has, of course, gone defensive, aus der Defensive. Volksgrenadiers, MG42 zoning up on the right from here, and again another retreat, although we are seeing a bit of veterancy now for his men. Trying to hit up on the flank. Pioneers, Volksgrenadiers, nice use of cover right there. From behind the fences and the bushes, they shall resist the American invader. Slight retreat right over there. Tank depot soon ready, probably with a Sherman. There's only one pack, which could be an advantage, but again, at the same time, there's a slight advantage right here for Magpies. Of course, the mines, which could make a Sherman assault actually a bit costly. If it hits a mine, that's going to be pretty much game over. Oh, Volksgrenadiers caught out in the middle of the road. This is bad, except against the flamethrowers, against the rifle. There we go, though. Heinz caught on fire. Jürgen and Fritz might also soon be joining them. We are seeing actually Grenadiers now arriving, moving out on the flank, but still heavy losses for the Volksgrenadiers. And note also how they look. No of the foliage for their helmets there, but still looks pretty spiffy. Grenade, Stahlgranate. Oh, nice hit, killing several riflemen, but more are pushing in, and the Grenadiers in fact retreating. And there we go, a Sherman has arrived from Imgonnagetyou. The first armor has arrived. The Panzerlehr though is holding on heroically. Troops are reinforcing. Escalate to assault phase completed, or will he perhaps, you know, go straight for the battle phase and the Panzer Command? It is not unusual to see some players actually just skip the third tier and go straight for the fourth if they can get away with it. These Volksgrenadiers will need to retreat. Come on, Magpies! Hilfen ihrer Männer. But there we go, pulling back. Sherman moving in towards the center. Engineers hiding there. No attempt at harassing over there due to the MG. Ooh, Sherman pulling up in the center, getting hit by the pack. Pack perhaps could have waited a bit. And he's actually trying to clear out the MG42, while in the west he is stalling a bit. Too many Volksgrenadiers. MG could in fact be going down to the Sherman. This could be nasty right there for Magpies. There we go, direct hit, high explosive rounds, send them tumbling into the air. And then meanwhile, more Volksgrenadiers rushing in to try and contain the riflemen in advance. Heavy cover or anything else. Veterancy for several of them. In fact, this is definitely not looking good for the Volksgrenadiers. They might lose this fight unless we might not even be able to see for the far end up. And there we go, retreating, but suffering more losses. Medics moving in. Riflemen moving up there into the Grenadiers. Grenadier went down to the punch. Sherman. Down to one man for the far end, goes up, and a full retreat. Oh, he lost the Grenadier squad already with a Panzerschreck. Unfortunate, and medic Jürgen tries to get Heinz out of there, but no, he does not make it. A tragedy in the making. Sherman did go down to successive Panzerabwehrkanone fire. A bit of a loss there, but we're already seeing a second Sherman, and already now Magpies is beginning to bleed a bit more. He's losing troops now, and he's losing actually valuable troops. He's losing grenadiers, and I don't think there were any actually recovered from the medic bunker, but ones yet trained.
We're losing territory.
So that was actually a bit nasty. We are seeing now, of course, a second pack out. That is not unusual to see when it comes to Shermans. One pack is not going to be always enough to stop a Sherman, in fact, so you usually want two, and usually want them sort of in a way so they can cover each other in case a Sherman rushes in. Or at least cover numerous flanks. Rather than moving in there again, I'm going to get you now, increasing his approach spread, in fact, making it much harder for Magpies to actually just lock down one territory. There we go. Pack has been outmaneuvered. Flamethrowers. Sherman moves in, going to hit in the flank, rifle from the other side. Complete chaos in the lines of the Panzer. They're moving in. Sherman, there we go. Pack is down. Rifle getting assaulted. Sherman moves in. Rifle need to be a bit careful still. The Volksgrenadier soldier needs to be careful. They're now up close. Sherman hits a mine. Damaged engine. Will Magpies launch a vast fuselage of Panzerfaust fire again? Oh my goodness! 3 Volksgrenadiers just went down, and that was in fact a Volksgrenadier squad right there for Magpies. The Panzer. Oh, another 2. Although the pack has finally arrived. Sherman needs to get out of there, but losses are heavy now for the German infantry. Rather than moving up, and in fact they could be seizing the pack, which could make an armoured approach even more difficult, of course, for Magpies. Of course, all to ensure he's not going to recover it. Mine goes off, but still, oh dear, retreating means, of course, less effectiveness. And now the pack is American. It's an AT gun now, son. Brr. Don't know where that came from. And there we go. The Panzer Command is going up. And now the new tank crew guys showing up there. Fuel point going back. Now things are looking a bit less optimistic for Magpiesflight. We are seeing additional Shermans. I mean, note he's actually going for several Shermans. Not a single tank destroyer yet. And again, if he was to get a mortar now, for example, he could bombard these positions, which would really make it difficult for Magpiesflight to actually establish a position. But we are seeing another Grenadier squad out. And there we go. A bit of foliage, a bit more veteran-looking Soldaten. And those Volksgrenadiere. And they also smell better. Panzerschrecks on the way. And there we go. Flugzeugabwehrkanone 8-8 going up. Going to stop those Yankee Panzers. MG42 ready, though in this case recruited by Pioneers.
We view the field of battle with the eye of an eagle.
Interesting enough, there's been no upgrades for the Volksgrenadiers. No MP40s. Even one upgrade can be nice. Generally, I don't really recommend, you know, if you have 2, upgrade 1. If you have 3, perhaps upgrade 2. But still, you know, also keep some rifles still. And there we go, flanked by the rifleman. Ooh, if only he had grenades, this could really have been excellent. But no, instead he's going to be climbed up right in front of the MG42 with Veterans 1. And again, I mean, note how much damage the rifleman just took there. Already down to half. Oh, MG42 actually goes down. And yeah, that's a slight thing to remember. I mean, MGs out in the open can actually reasonably fast go down. The crew is dead, gone. Tot nicht mehr. Grenadiers and Volksgrenadiers rushing in, and there we go, actually retreating now, some right past the gauntlet of German troops, pushing up there. Sherman behind the house, thus avoiding the heavy fire of the flak. MG42 keeping things up here, pack moving it up. Still no medic station 4, I'm gonna get you. Bit of a shame, I think. And let's just speed this up a wee bit. Again, it's just, you know, to keep things a bit accessible for people in terms of time. So they need on half an afternoon. Grenadiers, MGs moving up. Troops reinforcing, and of course I'm not entirely sure to keep this skin pack, or at least to them at bits, we'll see. Always new things coming up, new updates as people get better. So of course always fun. Mines going off, lots of mines going off in fact. Now, of course, question is how with the American. Ooh, he's got Browning automatics, that's definitely going to help him on the assault, though again, medic station will also be nice. And he doesn't have a single supplied upgrade. This could prove to be a problem in the longer run if he does not solve the supply upkeep issue. And there we go, MG4 shooting up in one point, but the riflemen are hitting from another. Taking up position in the building as well. Excellent, excellent. Going to catch troops out in the open. Flak firing away. They're hitting nothing. Troops getting suppressed. And we are in fact seeing a Sherman on the left flank as well. Magpies has rather been cornered a bit. He does hold most of the victory points, but that is really only what's going for him at the moment. Oh, pack gets a Grenadier. That was less fortunate. And again, keeping up nice position here. Volksgrenadiers out in the open, and they're just taking losses to the Veterans 2 riflemen. I mean, note, Riflemen get more and more accurate and harder to hit as they gain veterancy. And now the medics are suffering. I mean, he just lost a full Scania squad, and now I'm gonna get you. He's really going in for those medics. Although MG5 is going to suppress them, I'm not entirely sure they're able to save him. And armor has been chosen against defensive. He's going to go with the armored might of the first, calling in the Calliope. Riflemen retreating. Rockets could be a problem, of course. Going to hammer down the packs, MGs, and possibly in the flak. And there we go. Rockets barraging away. Panzerlehr lines are sort of together at the moment. Sherman moving up on the flank. Also note, the Soviets, of course, apparently they will have some female units, at least partially. Tank commanders for the T-70, apparently, I think it was. And the snipers will apparently be female. Interesting enough. Although it could also be random, I don't know. Could be just they wanted to show off. Not 100% sure. Still not inaccurate. And also, not best news of the year, snipers will now only cloak while in bloody cover. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here. No more snipers running around uncloaked in the bloody open. If they want to be cloaked, they have to be in cover. So I'm rather hoping, of course, that pleases you just as it pleases me. So again, no more bloody sniper spam. But we are seeing the Panzer Command up. Grenadiers trying to hunt it down. Other armor lining up here. Pack as well. Ooh, Calliope took actually some damage right there. Calliope again, not really a Normandy weapon, only came about in the Ardennes period. That is the later stage of the war, much later in fact. End stages even. Grenadiers suffering a bit here. Panzer Commando is up again for the Panzerlehr. The tattered lines of Magpies are still holding on, but it is looking a bit desperate. Grenadiers moving in, and we are seeing Allied War Machine up already, trying to, of course, and note, he's not doing it in a suicidal manner. He's doing it in a sort of sense, okay, I might actually have to lose this, and at least I'll try to ensure I get something out of it. But again, he wants to keep them because, again, veterancy. In this case, of course, veterancy 1 Sherman could then become a veterancy 2, which, of course, will make it much more lethal. And that is, of course, a slight detail with some players. I mean, they just, you know, suicide them away without quite a thinking, of course, thus lose the veterancy benefits. And of course also just, you know, make some silly things. I mean, in that sense, slightly better usage of it, I would say. Still no supplied upgrades. And again, note, he's only getting this much compared to, you know, what he could have gotten with upgrades. And of course, the medic station will also be of help. So again, upgrades can do wonders. We are seeing grenades now. He is improving his rifle even further. Sherman will need dire repairs. Well, it's in dire need repairs, more specifically, not dire repairs. That seems a bit curious. Oh! Oh dear. A Panzerich hit gets it. A small victory for the Panzerlehr. And there we go, Sherman kaput. Other moving up, they're catching an MG crew. Pack sneaking him out. Panzer Command is lighting up. What shall we be seeing from it? Ooh, Rifleman getting stopped again by that nasty MG42 veterans 1. 6 kills already, although suffering a bit out in the open. Several full Grenadiers. Oh, he's just throwing away one. Get away from the ammo, Dummkopf. Oh well. Medics moving in to do what they can. And the flak blasting away as well. They're only so far with 2 infantry kills. No LMGs for the Grenadiers could be helped. And of course, repairing the medic bunker. Lovely. Sherman keeps on flank. Oh, it got the pack. And it's wrecking it. Thus denying Magpiesflight valuable anti-tank assets. But we are... Ooh. Panzerkampfwagen 5 from the Panther Battalion is moving in to save the day. Or at least make it much more difficult for the Sherman to do anything. Grenadiers are suffering, false Grenadiers are suffering. Panzerich moving in. Grenades on the rifleman, taking out 3 right away, forcing the rest out of there. False Grenadiers are advancing up, and there we go, the Panthers moving in. Veterans 1 already. Sherman is in a bit of trouble. Down in fact to 1 tank only for I'm gonna get you. And there we go, Sherman brewed up. The Panther scored a kill for the fatherland. Grenadiers inside the building though aren't getting turned into a crisp. And a Calliope barrage right into the side of the Panther and into the building. Rifleman needs to get out of there. It looks like Magpiesflight is making a steady return, doing a bit of damage left and right, and will just be speeding up while the American commander is gathering up strength once more. Another Sherman, not a single tank destroyer as of yet. Interesting enough, would usually expect some by the time of course Panthers, but again he might just get one next. And Veteran C2 up already, giving him machine gunner right there, of course. Advancing up there, of course, might be an idea to get the pack up closer to the front to stop any Panthers from advancing too far. Bunkering up, I imagine that's going to be a repair bunker. Rifle going to hit the flank again. Lovely, good harassment, good pressure on all sides of the map from Imgonnagetyou. But again, no supply upgrades and no medic station could be a problem. In particular, since Magpie still has a medic bunker, that's of course meaning he's going to be holding the advantage in the war of attrition. And the MG crew just died a rocket explodery death. Rifleman getting run off. Pack stealthily sneaking up as much as it can, unless of course it wishes it was German. And he's advancing up numerous Panzerschrecks. Volksgunners recruiting the MG again. Veterans 1 for these riflemen, jolly good. And he's getting pushed back. And the Panther arriving to once more quell the issues. MG42 setting up. No veterans as of yet, though, for the Calliope. Troops are getting suppressed. And minor losses left and right as troops are getting pushed off. There's trouble right there. But the Panzerlehr was a premier Panzer division, one of the best, one of the elite, crewed with the best NCOs and officers, best crews, had the best equipment, and even had the newest uniforms. So I mean, they rather had a lot of advantages. They even in fact had the most half-tracks of any divisions. I think the 21st could only really match them, and those were converted French half-tracks. So that was definitely something right else there for the Panzerlehr. Tragically, it lost a lot as they were travelling about due to Allied strafing runs. Mine goes off right there. Volksgunners under a bit of fire. And no, Volksgunners did not fight in Normandy. They only came about after, in fact. They're in fact a result after the attempt on Hitler's life, where Himmler got control of the replacement army. He then wanted a more politically reliable army. So came the Volksgunners about. The People's Grenadiers. Grenadiers moving in for the far land up. Panzerschrecks trying to stop the Shermans advancing up on the right flank. One taking heavy damage. Panther moving in. Pack opening up. Ooh. 4/6. And this Sherman is taking heavy damage from Panzerschrecks, and the Panther with its high velocity 75mm gun. The Panther is what came about after the Germans had secured themselves some T-34s. In fact, the earliest sort of prototypes of this actually looked like a T-34. It was only later on they rather looked, yeah, that's not really German now, is it? No, Heinz, let's improve it. And so they did. It also actually used an aircraft engine, which in later variants actually caused some problems, because if it tilted at a certain angle, it would burst into flames, which was less desirable. Still quite effective weapon, and actually in the later stages of the war was the most numerous Panzer in the German army. Even the Panzer IV was actually in less numbers, despite having overall been produced more. MG42's Gunners moving up. Riflemen pushed away, moving up their flanking. Perhaps they might be trying to go for the flak. And of course, the question is, will Magpie be able to sort of stop this? Will he be able to intercept? No, he's going for the victory point. Interesting. MG setting up. Volksgunners, Grenadiers moving in. And there we go, getting suppressed. And a Calliope actually barrages in, hitting the troops right there on the other side. Grenades going off, but the Volksgunners actually don't suffer anything really there. Riflemen need to consider getting out there, vacating the premises, all that. And again, supply upgrade would be good for Imgonnagetyou. But let's go look at Magpiesflight again. And going in for the fuel point. He perhaps has finally discovered what's going on there. Grenades going off, killing grenadiers. For the fatherland up to try and actually increase the survivability, which is a good move. Grenades not quite hitting. The two MGs are still firing away, and they are still causing huge problems for the Americans. If they could in fact be knocked out, that could be a huge pressure off the shoulders of the American riflemen. Sherman moves in right into the line of sight of the Panzerx. Of course, also note he's probably doing it in such a manner that the flak can't actually hit him. I mean, he's using the buildings as cover against the anti-aircraft gun. Sherman gets off, and oh, 3 grenadiers down. Oh dear, oh dear. Panther suffering from the pack. And the anti-tanker could in fact get knocked out. He's actually now just trying to suicide the Sherman for once, I think. Or is he? 5 kills though. Main gun destroyed. I'm not so sure he will actually be able to get it. Sherman number 2 getting repaired rather swiftly. 7 kills for the flak. That's quite interesting. And a BAR left behind could be secured by the Germans, by the Reich. And he could in fact be soon be getting a second Panther. 2 hits, getting 2 grenadiers, 1 hit in fact. Shermans are quite nasty to infantry, and again, no, Veteran G2 does not provide them with any protection against the main guns of the Shermans or any other tank. So in that sense, tanks are rather good against more veteran German infantry. Going in from all sides again, lovely, lovely. Panther moving up through the main road. And a quick move by the Grenadiers, taking up position right next to the Sherman with a Panzerx firing it down onto the Sherman. MG went down. In fact, the MG has been completely destroyed, leaving Magpies with 1 less. Panther keeps firing at the riflemen there. Machine guns hammering away. And there we go. Registered artillery barrage somewhere, stopping a push up there. But will it be enough? And additional heavy flak fire. Sherman here might want to be careful, and we are in fact seeing upgraded guns. He's actually upgrading the guns. This is curious. Again, no tank resources, in fact just relying on Shermans, partly of course to deal with the German infantry, which is not a bad idea, but apparently also to help against the Panthers. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Not what you really see that often. Second Sherman moves in. Medic bunker taking fire, and other places are getting bombarded as well. I think that was actually a Pioneer squad that went down. No, apparently not. I can't really tell apart what it was anymore. But Sherman here taking heavy damage. Panther moves in. The Panther's rather currently what keeps it together, partly. Allied war machine. Sherman down. Another one arrives fresh from stocks.
Heavy rocket artillery. Request target coordinate.
Pioneer's getting caught right here on the western flank. But the Americans did go through a lot of Shermans throughout the war. In fact, one division had about a 300% casualty rate or loss rate amongst the Shermans. I mean, they lost a lot. And there we go, second Panther. In crews, they suffered even more heavily, though. Of course, that is interesting to note. So yeah, you probably should expect, as an American commander, to actually lose some Shermans, just like they actually did in the real war. Grenadiers still going down. Rifle moving up. A bit of BA action on some of the Grenadiers, going to make it a bit harder for the riflemen to advance. Although again, an LMG 42 could help a bit, I think, but for the fatherland up. But 2 Panthers of rather heavy armor presence up could in fact be used rather offensively, I think. Could clear up the Shermans quite nicely, if so used. But rather heavy infantry losses amongst the German infantry. Down to 2 Grenadier squads and 1 Volksgrenadier squad. Although 20 kills for those Volksgrenadiers. Rifle now bouncing up straight at the flak. And there's nothing to stop them. In fact, there's the MG42. It's nowhere to be found. It's trying to set up to try and grind down. But oh dear, will it be enough? Panthers are arriving, heading up the flank. Getting closer to the flak. Flamethrowers. Oh my goodness. And there we go. Burning away. Oh, they were stopped. Too much heavy machine gun fire. All of a sudden, raking down all the Americans. But that was very close to Magpies. Could have easily turned into a complete disaster if the Americans was able to seize that flak right behind them. Another Grenadier squad has been reformed. More stalwart German infantry. Sherman's moving about, although if he wants a chance he's going to need more Shermans against those Panthers. Well, he needs that flak. And again, a supply upgrade automatic station 4, I'm gonna get you, would definitely pay off huge dividends. But let's keep up a bit, speed up, never mind. Sherman again facing off against 2 Panthers. Pack is there. Sherman down, Yankee Panzer is kaputt. And the engineers are suffering under quite a bit of machine gun fire. And Veterans Issue for the Panthers. Veterans 3 actually, I mean. Giving them armored side skirts, but that's about it. Second Sherman also suffering a bit rather than moving in. Again, action, rather more, you know, frontal fighting, less flanking from the American. And again, he seems to be slowly losing in a war of attrition. He needs something to break this stalemate, I fear. Because again, he does not quite have a medic station again, thus the ability to actually recover more easily from losses. Which is rather, again, what's probably keeping Magpies in the game so far. Ooh, lots of machine gun fire from the 2 Panthers actually suppresses the troops. Of course they can actually, but you do need a bit more fire from them. There we go. Even the Veterans 3 rather now suppressed. More Calabi fire over here. MG42 getting hammered. Sherman getting repaired. And again, another move towards the flak. 8 kills on it, on the Flugzeugabwehrkanone. Volksgrenadier is holding on, but very, very desperately. He might even be losing them. And there we go. Volksgrenadier squad down. Grenade on the flak, but doesn't quite kill it. MG42 actually outflanked by riflemen. The support gunners are doing what they can, but they are a lot less accurate. They still do the same damage as Volksgrenadier's MP40s, but not enough. And there we go, down and with the for the final and off. Oh dear, a rather severe push by I'm gonna get you. MG42 down, Grenadier down. Although again he is recovering. Again, that medic bunker is very vital to him. If it was to get destroyed, it would be very, very sad for Magpiesflight. As that is pretty much again the only thing keeping in this fight, I suspect. But now the Panthers are rushing onwards. He's finally on the counter-attack. But just as that happens, a Pershing arrives. And an Ostwind flak panzer also arrives. Which also did not really see action until the time of the Ardennes. Pack a bit exposed there. Riflemen suffering again under the MGs of the Panthers. Grenadiers moving in against the pack. Pershing moves in, but it is suffering from the flak. Sticky bomb on the Panther. Damaged engine. Pershing needs to be a bit careful. Grenadiers though getting gunned down. Will there be a Calliope barrage right there? That could be very, very nasty. And there we go, Calliope away. Right on the Panther. Taking heavy damage, and there we go. Scoring Veterans E3 just by knocking out that Panther. Goes from 1 to 3. That is definitely going to make that Calliope that much more lethal. Going to increase the rate of the barrages much. I mean, most artillery units, when they gain Veterans E, they just fire faster. There's basically just shorter and shorter time between each barrage they can do. And having gone to Veterans E3, that's definitely going to be firing a lot faster than it did previously. Which is also going to be problems for Magpiesflight, in particular since he just lost a Panther. But to his advantage again, no supply upgrades, no medic stations, so I'm going to get you again. If you can't keep the medic bunker alive and basically just survive, he could win through a war of attrition, though again, very costly. But let's just speed this up a wee bit. Because again, it is a long match, and in fact it's time to have a look at I'm going to get you again. Again, only 200 manpower. Another Calliope barrage again. That was not very long waiting in there. And, oh, the flak has actually been decrewed. This is actually a bit of a problem. We are seeing a second one up. Magpiesflight actually lining down with more anti-aircraft guns in an attempt to keep things secured. Sticky bomb on the Ostwind. And we are seeing troops quickly moving in to man the flak. Some grenadiers. That might in fact been a depleted grenadier squad. He just sacrificed right there. Trying to finish off that other flak. Sherman moves in. And there we go. The Ostwind is down. Flak gets cancelled. Grenadiers and other things getting caught out here in the open. Pershing moving right in. Will they be trying to recruit the pack or what? And Allied war machine up. And there we go. Destroyed. Sherman might want to try and get out of there, but again it might not. But there we go. Another Pershing up. Magpies is bleeding a wee bit, to put it mildly, I think. Another flak going up. Riflemen moving up. Heavy losses amongst the riflemen as well, although numerous are in fact now close to being veterans with 3 besides the one there. Another flak down, riflemen hitting up the flank. And there's not a lot to actually stop them. The Pershing's a bit occupied in the centre. Pioneer taking up position in the repair bunker. And in fact, a right hook, could actually just move in there and clear out the flak. And even steal it. Oh dear, oh dear. Our Germanic friend rather needs something to turn things around. Of course, the American commander is ceaseless and he's simply just hammering away. And there we go again, going for the flak. Grenade. AA position is down, and now the Americans are in fact seizing it. We are seeing machine gun fire from the German base, but the flak has now been recruited. But the Americans, grenades are going off, lots of grenades from the grenadiers, and the crew is dead. But again, he tries again, but now with the veterans free, Panzerschreck knocks it out, but still, that's one less flak. Pershing charges in. Ostwind arrives, another Ostwind up for Magpiesflight. Panther taking heavy damage. Will there be a Calliope barrage? And yes, indeed. Another barrage of the Calliope right on the flak for the Farnland up. Pershing out of control. Perhaps trying to sticky bomb the Panther. Panzerschreck fire, Grenadier fire, BAR fire. In fact, has been secured by the Grenadiers. And there might be another BAR to augment their arms, but no, apparently not. Well, the other chaps, there go, secure it. Americans and Germans are at rather a bit of a tense crossroads. Who will be able to deliver the final blow that breaks the back of the other bastard? And there we go, the Americans are moving out again. A bit of quiet on both sides. The Sherman crashed into a house. Shermans will crash into a lot of things right here on this map. More AA fire. Sandbags going up right in front of the flak to make it a bit harder to hit. Of course, while got protection against artillery, I suspect. Ostwind moving in. 37mm gun just hammering away into the riflemen. And sticky bomb on the Ostwind, damaging the engine. Grenade on the flak, the pineapple grenade. And another Calliope barrage. Could in fact be clearing out the side of the Ostwind. And there we go, flak has been knocked out. Main gun destroyed on the Ostwind, Grenadiers are moving in. And a rocket barrage. I'm not entirely sure what they were hoping to get there. Sherman gets the kill on the Ostwind. Fighting over the flak continues, but oh dear. Crew is actually getting killed, and this Grenadier actually needs to retreat. Rückzug, Männer! Verlassen Sie die Flak. And the grenade just completely blows it up. There's actually been quite a few flaks on this map and this fight in general. American infantry being a huge pain in the arse. Panzer IV could perhaps be a slightly better idea, I think. Able to fight both against the Shermans and the infantry. Grenadiers to call again. Lots of Magpies. Infantry is heavily wounded. The Panzerlehr is getting absolutely shredded. And another Grenadier squad went down. Medics, of course, continue their hard, unrelenting work. And what is this? We are seeing the Ritterkreuz out. In fact, there's indeed also some new stuff for them. So moving out there, armed with assault rifles, Panzerfaust, and other goodies. Certainly a bit of a desperate fight for the Third Reich. But again, I mean, Imgonnagetyou infantry is also pretty much worn down. Again, supply upgrades early on perhaps could have strategically helped a bit better. And again, medic station as well. More Calliope fire, and now the Grenadiers suffer for the Farland up. 1 kill for the Knights Cross so far. Let's just speed it up a wee bit. Going for the victory point. Sherm rolling in and going after the Knights Cross. Another flag up. 45 points left for the American. Whoops, too slow. Pershing moving up. Panther is still there. But for how much longer? Knights Cross and Grenadiers band together. Got some other Grenadiers hiding on the eastern flank. Panther versus Pershing. Looks like the Pershing managed to kill something. Lots of veteran riflemen versus Grenadiers and Knights Cross. Which again, the veterans of 3 riflemen are nasty since they do get a 50% damage bonus. And the Knights Cross are just getting focused down. Again, do not... Oh, more veterans of 3 riflemen. And these Knights Cross need to get out of there. They can't survive that much. Oh, the Knights Cross squad went down. And again, they didn't really actually form up squads like that in the war. The closest were actually what, you know, small assault groups formed up from veteran NCOs and such. Which they actually did. In particular in the later stages of war, partly also from NCO schools. So let's just imagine it's that and not, you know, actually guys with lots of Knights Crosses. Another Pershing down. Again, losses are starting to rather choke down. I'm gonna get you. And again, the upkeep is simply too much for him. Because again, he didn't bother with upgrades earlier on. Well, I mean, the German commander's definitely also having some problems himself. Very few Grenadiers left. And he's basically just holding on by the skin of his teeth. My apologies, didn't sleep too well. Someone decided it would be hilarious to have a very loud conversation outside my window tonight. Since, of course, I needed it open because, again, it's bloody hot over here. Not really. I mean, if you don't know how to use them, yes, they'll suck. But that rather applies to a lot of units in the game.
We're ready to move in.
But there you go. Another Ostwind arrives. I suspect riflemen moving in to try and sticky bomb it, though it is a dangerous mission against the Veterancy 3 Ostwind. It actually gains an accuracy bonus, I believe, at Veterancy 3, which actually makes it a bit more lethal. Grenadiers holding out in the remains of this burnt out barn. Riflemen are moving in. And these Grenadiers could be having a nasty surprise for them on the retreat. Panther getting focused down. The Calliope still there. 2 Veterancy 3 riflemen, and we might be seeing a lot of sticky bombs. No, apparently not. Registered artillery, and actually, it's quite fun to note. I mean, Magpiesflight has actually been very lucky in one regard. He's not dropped a single Panzer check to his opponent. I mean, if that had happened, those Veterancy 3 riflemen would definitely be very, very dangerous, and his Panzers might not live as quite as long. But now it looks like he might be going on the hunt for the Calliope. No, he turns away. But the Panzerlehr is definitely holding on rather barely, as we might notice right there. Not a lot of stuff left. I mean, the American commander has more, but he is being choked a bit under the supply upkeep because again he didn't bother with supplied upgrades.
Attack our forward base.
And that could, in the end, be what saves the Panzerlehr and Magpies. And again, just so people know, in the actual war, the Americans actually had supply problems. It's that sort of thing where, you know, actually having to get supplies from one country over the sea to the next. That's actually a bit of a bottleneck, and that's rather what the Americans had problems with on the beaches there. And then actually getting it onwards from there, because again, before they invaded Normandy, they blew up the entire German infrastructure. And finally, this sort of extra little nail on the coffin, American troops were rather used to actually getting more supplies than the German infantrymen. They were used to getting more food, more everything, basically. So there was rather a much larger supply trail also of American infantry. This combined, of course, with problems with getting supplies anywhere. And yeah, go figure, you do need supplied upgrades. And again, it's actually a rather historical reflection of the actual war. They're getting pushed back. Ostwind in dire trouble. Rifle are trying to get in with a sticky bomb. But the Ostwind is tearing through them with 13mm flak. Sticky bomb and Calliope at the same time. Could be the end. Destroyed engine. No, the Calliope actually manages to not destroy it.
Artillery crew reporting heavy combat.
25 infantry kills for the Panthers. That's definitely very nice. But a veterancy frees German with increased, of course, penetration, increased damage. And there we go, actually doing quite a bit of damage, of course. Engineers repairing. If enough men move up, they could also cause a problem right there for the Panther. Although currently the Panther's doing more damage. Engineers pulling back. Rifle moving in, trying to flank with the sticky bomb. Again, veterancy 3, also no veterancy 2 rifle and above. Actually have a larger range on the sticky bomb. So there we go. 2 more sticky bombs. And there we go. Panzerkampfwagen 4 arrives. Destroyed engine on the Panther. Panzer 4 rolls into this mess. Firing away indiscriminately at all riflemen nearby. More sticky bombs on the Panther. If a Calliope was to hit now, this could actually be the end of the Panther. And yeah, there we go. Panther out of control. Panzerkampfwagen 5 kaputt. Leaving behind only a Panzer 4 and an Ostwind. And if a Pershing was to arrive now, that could actually be a huge problem for the German commander. Bit of acting up from Fraps now after what? Yeah, almost an hour. Hang on. And let's try again. Let's see if Fraps is a bit more cooperative. And it's... yeah. Let's see if we can't get a bit more stability. There we go, sort of. And there we go. Stability is my apologies for any sort of problems with this. It happens from time to time. Panzer 4 and Ostwind rather than what the Panzer has left in terms of armor. Still grenadiers and still those flaks. Though the Panzer must be running short on those heavy anti-aircraft guns by now. Still, let's see if Magpies can actually stabilize things, and well, essentially all we need to do is just retake those points. But again, that's rather where some players can make mistakes, because again, they get so desperate, they think, I'm so close, I can risk it all, and then they fail because again, they were too reckless, and then the opponent actually beats them. So this is actually the sort of spot where you really have to be the most cautious. We are seeing another Pershing arriving, but again, not a lot of units left, and again, he's having troubles reinforcing and training, because again, upkeep. Again, the upkeep is draining him. No supplied upgrades, and again, no medic station now, which could also have helped. And this war of attrition is essentially being won by Magpies in that sense. Pershing moving out on the flank, trying to get that Ostwind. Oh dear, Pershing, and it gets the medic bunker, thus cutting off Magpies from any further infantry. Pioneers getting rushed off from the west. And another Calliope barrage right into the middle of everything. Right as the Grenadiers advance out, and for the final lane goes up again. Plenty of munitions, no upgrades for the Grenadiers though. We might be seeing another Panther very soon. Panzer IV versus the Riflemen, and the Riflemen are losing. Although if this German veteran fleet was to win, I think it actually would win against the Panzer IV, since because it actually has higher penetration than the Panzer IV and does more damage. But apparently the flag, of course, right next there is providing a nice anchor point. Panzer's moving about. No Panther, in fact, but he's got a lot of resources. Might be able to spend those.
The Yankees are grabbing our territory.
Moving up the western flank, and another heavy rocket barrage. Pershing would be a good target. There we go, but the Pershing actually moving out. Oh, it's moving back into it. It's moving. Oh, pooh. That was not very good for I'm gonna get you. Charging up here. Panzer IVs and the Riflemen just getting shredded. The Panzer III actually killed them. And there we go, Allied War Machine moving in. Sherman moves in Veterancy 3, but I'm not entirely sure he wants to actually lose that. That would simply be too huge. And we are seeing another Panther on the way, and oh dear. That was definitely not the way to do it. But again, I'm gonna get you is playing very securely, trying to get as many victory points, and again trying to drain him. But right there, oh dear. Well, I mean, Magpiesflight is certainly low on everything again. So is the American. In fact, he's getting very, very low on infantry. He suffered too much in that department. And again, had he simply had one medic station or a medic bunker, he might have been able to actually wear him out, but again, that did not happen. And there we go, another Panther arrives. And another headache for the American 1st Armored Division. Lighter skirmishing over here, Sherman moving in. Grenadiers not quite equipped to stop a Sherman. But definitely quite a bit of a moon landscape by now. Lots of craters. Calliope, though, exposing itself unduly, but 40 kills, my goodness. Definitely paying itself in. Sherman moving out on the flank. Victory points are ticking down now again for the American. Pershing rolls in. Flak has been accrued. Riflemen charging in. They want to hold it. Panther getting sticky bombed. Riflemen, oh, they're moving away from the flak. They're not clearing it out. Grenadiers and Pioneers moving in to assist. Rifleman getting absolutely shattered now. Come on, just a few minutes more. Just a few minutes. Pershing versus Panther. Looks like the Panther will win their sticky bomb. Panzer IV also running support. Destroyed engine. Oh, and just then the Pershing moves above again. It might have been the flak, of course, causing a problem. Panzer IV rolls in. Panzerkampfwagen 4 going to finish off the job. Will he try to? No, decides, oh, just can't penetrate that frontal armor and decides to pull away. In fact, it's pretty heavily damaged. And a Calliope barrage. Panzer IV narrowly avoids it, but the Panther takes the full hit. Leaving once more rather shattered Panzer led to try and hold the line, but again the Americans are, I think, also completely wrecked themselves. But 50, almost 50 kills on those riflemen. Bloody hell. 9 points left. Moving in against another victory. Point on the flank. Riflemen against here. But the Panzer IV has also arrived. and gets the rifleman with machine guns and high explosive shells, and the veterans are free. Yeah, there we go. GG. GG. Game over. 1st Armored Division tried its best, charged in, did a lot of damage, but in the end it did not win. Again, a supply upgrade, a medic station. I really think that was essentially all he really needed, and he could have worn down Magpiesflight in the end, though Magpiesflight was able to hold on, partly due to the flax, partly due to for the farmland, but again also just the medic bank. He was able to really absorb the losses, and it really ended also up in some cases, you know, I'm gonna get you wasn't able to really deliver the killing blow, and perhaps he should also have either mixed in some tank destroyers. But I mean, it was close, but he just lacked that last bit again, which could have come either from, you know, a supply upgrade, medic station, or preferably both. But very close, but in the end, close but no cigar. So there you go. Do hope you enjoyed this game. If you did, why not subscribe and tell your friends, and if you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.